Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. This is a channel where I talk about the artwork on Pokemon cards and the artists behind those artworks. So today's video is looking at the work of Rianti Hidayat. Rianti Hidayat is a lady from Indonesia originally, who lives in Japan and has lived in Japan for several years. And she came into the Pokémon TCG having won the Judges Award in the 2019 illustration competition. I think that was the second year of them running a illustration competition. I may be wrong on that, maybe the first one. Don't know. Anyway, she won the Judges Award, and her first commission in the TCG was this Impidimp, and this came out in the start date 100 of December 2021. Rianti's style is very much in the Hyogonosuke Okacheki school of Deco-esque, cubist, modernist, whatever, where there are no clear outlines. You know, she hasn't outlined the figures in pen or black lines or anything. It's about blocks of color. It's about how the lighting works with those blocks of color. Her style is more extreme, perhaps more abstract than some of the other artists that use this sort of school of art, in that she really does go for very sharp lines, seems to avoid curved lines as much as she can. So she'll take a curved line like this, the arm of Impidimp here, and she'll break it down into a series of straight lines. Creates a very distinctive style for her. And I think it works very well here, in all her cards. So this is the first card, as I say. The flowers here are drawn in a sort of abstract style almost. And you've got strong light coming back from around the corner, and Impidimp is lurking here in the half shadow, the light just catching along the top of his head and arm. So that's a nice little card of a Pokemon I don't actually like at all. I think it's a pretty ghastly line of Pokemon, but yeah, very nice card. So that was the first one. The second card that she was commissioned to do was this Beartic from Starbirth in January of 2022, so just after, probably painted around the same time as this. And this suits her style brilliantly because you've got Beartic here facing into a blizzard. Very much an icy scene of strong winds, creating these icicles blasting past Beartic here. And it really works well with Rianti's style of sharp lines and pointy things. So we've got claws, we've got Beartic's snotty beard or whatever it is, and the iceberg or whatever he's standing on the edge of. So real drama in that card, nice lighting, but very deco. Yep, so that was number 2. The third card that she was given was this Migina from Space Juggler in April of 2022. Reminds me of a card, I think there is a card from about 20 years ago that has a similar sort of setup to this. We've got an angled from above down towards an open window, whatever. But anyway, Migina here again. All the curved lines are turned into sharp lines. So if you look at this black line around the skirt of Migina, it's a series of straight lines broken down. And even the solar flare of the light coming in through the window, instead of being little circles, is hexagons. So it again feeds into that whole straight lines thing that Rianti does with her artwork. Very strong light, nice color choices. Do not like this Pokemon at all. I quite often forget it exists. But that's a very, very good piece of artwork. You've got I don't know what, it looks like a maze or something down under the window in the garden there, which again would be very much in keeping with these clear-cut box hedges with Rianti's geometric style. So that's the third card. The fourth card is the only full card art that she has been commissioned to do so far. And this is the Galarian Zapdos. And I feel it's probably the least successful of the cards for me. You've got very typical her style here. Of course, the cactuses have been transformed into cubic blocks. Sorry, the camera's having trouble focusing. What I don't like about this card is it feels cluttered to me. It feels confused. I would have edited out this Dodrio that's in the foreground. And I also don't think I particularly like the spirals of wind, dust, whatever, giving extra sense of motion to Zapdos running. I think there are other ways that one can give that impression. But look, Rianti's a better artist than I am. She knows what she's doing. So I'm not going to lecture her on how she should do her cards. But for me personally, I feel the addition of this Dodrio makes the card a little confused and cluttered. I would have preferred an open road or whatever here, with Zapdos running into it. But there we go. It's a nice enough card. Interesting choices of colours here. It's all a bit much for me. So that was the fourth card. Then there was a big gap. She didn't get any commissions in 23 for some reason. Maybe she was doing other work for Pokemon. You know, a lot of the artists do things like sleeves and promotional things, and yeah, a lot of other graphic art. And she is a very graphic artist, so they may have given her commissions in other places. But in cards, there was a big gap, and this came out in, this is the Togedemaru that came out in Stellar Miracle of July 2024. And I think this is a lovely card. The choices of colours are interesting. They're not colours I particularly like, this sea green or this salmony pinky. But the tones of them give a slightly antiquated feel to the colour palette here. Togedemaru, love the Pokemon. Very cute little Pokemon. And it fits her style very well. Again, we've got these straightish lines all the way around. Everything's blocky, geometric, deco-esque. No cut outlines in black pen or paint. I don't know how. You see, I'm not up on how modern artists create these cards. Whether I assume that they are done on a tablet. They're not painted with real pigmented paints with a paintbrush. But I don't actually know, and I don't care. I'm looking at the end product, and however they've achieved it, I think that's a very nice card of a very nice Pokemon. And then the most recent one is probably my favourite of all of her cards, which is this Turtonator from Paradise Dragona of September of last month, September 2024. And some really nice rich colours here that complement each other very well. This purple and the yellow and the red. And I think that's a very dramatic card. Very, very much in her wheelhouse of sharp things. Turtonator, this very sharp-looking turtle thing that explodes or detonates like a landmine. Really a very suitable Pokemon for her to be drawing, as so many of them are. It's interesting that the commissioning editor has given her Pokemon that would fit her style. I mean, I could argue that Magearna perhaps isn't in that school, but certainly Zapdos, Togedemaru, Turtonator, Beartic, you know, these are all very pointy Pokemon in a way. Prickly Pokemon. So that is a very nice little card. So we've just got the 6. It's a cheap collection to put together at this point, but you never know whether the next card that she does might be a promo card of something very rare or a SAR. But anyway, if you're interested in her art, I reckon you could probably get these 6 cards to start a little collection for little more than £10. So it's a nice little place to start an art collection. I hope somebody found that interesting. I think the next video I'm doing is Minaminami Take, probably. But we'll see. We'll see. And then I'm opening boxes of the next Super Electric Breaker, hopefully next week. So we shall see.